My name is Valencia Brown. I'm a current member of Step Up and a senior attending DRW College Prep. My goal today is to pass some of the positive energy along. I'm encouraging you to start practicing some things that you consider self-care. Anything that makes you happy counts as self-care. I'm telling you to find what makes you happy and do more of it. It's never too late, and it's actually the perfect time. Start doing things that invigorate you and that you're passionate about. Thank you for listening. I'm wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness on your journey to becoming your best friend.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at Step Up Together. Today, we are in for a truth talk, the conversation on the art of becoming myself. I'm Julie Bowen, and today I am so excited to be here with two Step Up participants, Melanie and Relina. Melanie is a Step Up alum from Chicago, Illinois, currently a sophomore at Columbia College Chicago, majoring in marketing and minoring in photography. Hallelujah, this is awesome. Longtime Julie Bowen stan, I'm embarrassed to say it, and Modern Family watcher Relina is a dynamic individual whose civic-focused education and life experiences have prepared her to be a passionate advocate. Most notably, Relina has used her voice to promote positive environmental policies. Yes, we need those, and used her leadership platform to address inequality within her school. Relina and Melanie, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today for the Truth Talk. There is so much about this idea of becoming ourselves that I want to chat about today. But first, let's kind of get to know each other a little bit better. As far as a journey to confidence, what is your story? What are you most proud of? Melanie, let's start with you.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Melanie. And I would say that my journey to confidence started when I was a kid, obviously. But as a kid, I was always very playful. I was loving, very outgoing, caring. But when I started going to school, I started to realize how people actually are and how mean they could be. So when I reached middle school, that actually took into effect, and it took control of my playful personality, which means I lost that throughout my middle school years. But no matter what grade I was in, I always knew that I was going to maintain the outgoing, the mature, and loving person I always am and always will be. But in high school, I started to realize classmates and what they would say shouldn't matter to me and shouldn't take a hold of my heart. But I also started to surround myself with friends that will be around for the rest of my life. And I am proud to say that I still have them till this day, and I love them to death. But I also have a very loving family. So my parents, my aunts, my uncles, everybody, they are all very loving, and they have all been supporting thus far and will continue to be supportive. But I wouldn't be where I am today without them and without their loving selves.
Wow. So family support and pushing through and having a support group around you. How about you, Relina?
Hi, my name is Relina. The H is silent. I'm not. I'm on an ongoing and ever-evolving journey to confidence, a journey that has had me swerve and swivel for years, causing some setbacks, but has ultimately helped me to better understand myself and what I need to do to help myself. One example being my love for performing arts, being on the stage and in front of the camera, and suddenly developing performance anxiety. But I am most proud of myself and how far I've come on this journey, and happy to say that I'm back on stage and in front of the camera.
Wow. Wow. You're like Simone Biles. I love that. It's my favorite. So can you share, either of you, an example of when something you considered an imperfection actually became a point of pride? Melanie, you want to start again?
Yeah. I would say that when, like most young adults and teenagers, we suffer with acne. So I do. And
I mean, to this day, still.
And I have since I was a sophomore in high school. But at that time, I also started to do makeup. So makeup artistry is a huge love of mine. That's hopefully going to be my future career. So I hope to continue in that. But it was a rough start from the beginning. Like, I was not good. Okay. Like, it was bad. But that I also used it for a creative outlet. It was just meant to be creative at that point. But then as I started to progress through high school, I started to develop more acne because of the makeup and everything like that. And it turned into just being a cover up to be able to go to school and feel confident. But now, being in 2021, I use it for creative and to walk out of my house at certain times. But with the pandemic, being home all the time, I didn't have to wear a ton of makeup. I was just normal skin. But with that comes a lot of skincare to be able to have rejuvenated skin again. And I can say that as of right now, I have some pretty good skin underneath all this makeup, but I love both. I have best of both worlds.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's so vulnerable to share about acne. I've had acne my whole life. Now I have acne and wrinkles. It's an exciting journey. And I hope that by sharing it, like we're sharing everything, just saying it, it takes the poison out of it. Everybody's got zits. Everybody's got, well, not everybody's wrinkles, but what about you, Relina?
So, as a member of the pep squad at my school, one of our honors is deciding the theme for each day of Spirit Week. A day that had become a beloved tradition for Spirit Week was Twin Day, a day where you and your bestie or besties get together to match your outfits. It was amongst the first suggestions that year and was quickly voted in. I, however, knew how dreaded this day can be because I dreaded it. I raised the concerns to my squad that some students do not have one person or group as a go-to, and some students don't have the means to coordinate with their friends every year. This causes insecurity, and we end up losing sight of our goal, which is 100% participation throughout the school. When I brought this up, it was quickly dismissed as these are not struggles they have faced with the day. When I hit a roadblock in trying to eliminate the day altogether, I looked at my desired goal from another angle. If I couldn't nip the student body's twin day anxieties from the bud, then I was going to make sure every one of them had a twin. Me. From that moment forward, every day until Twin Day, I would share on the morning announcements that on Twin Day, I will wear our school shirt and jeans. And if someone is looking for a twin, then they are more than welcome to twin with me. I wanted to have the least expensive and most accessible outfit for all the student body to don. A month later, the big day had arrived, and concerns I didn't even know I had began swirling in my mind. What if I'm the only one who felt this way about Twin Day? What if no one needed to twin with me, and I'm the only one without a twin? What if I walk in there with the outfit everyone knows I've been planning for a month without a single person to match? I took a deep breath and I let it go. Whatever happens when I step on campus, all I want is for 100% school participation and for everyone to feel included. I closed my eyes, I walked in, and to my surprise, the whole room was full of people wearing our school shirt and jeans, from preschoolers to middle schoolers to our teachers and staff. And for this first time, Twin Day was all inclusive, and we had 100% participation. This proved that I had to let my insecurities and anxieties rest and not allow them to get in the way of what I want to accomplish. And that when faced with adversity, I should listen, consider it, and use it as encouragement to find another way to do what I feel is right.
And so it was listening to your inner voice, your instinct right there that got you through that. And it's so wonderful to recognize that pressure. It's like prom or anything else where you have to have another partner. And some people just don't have that. And thank you for doing that. That is, it's real equity to recognize that not everybody can run out and buy matching Prada outfits or whatever. That is, what a great story. And the way you told it, Relina, thank you. Okay, I got another question, and I do love this one. If you were a plant, hang in there for a second, what would your water and sunshine be? In other words, like, how do you care for yourself? What brings you joy? What feeds you? Melanie?
Well, I would say that my water is my parents, because literally they have been there for me since minute one. My sunshine would be all the life experiences I have had thus far, and I will have, because that has made me into the young woman I am right now. I care for myself by working out, sleeping, hanging out with friends and family, taking care of a dog, my neighbor's dog, Daisy. And I have been a dancer since I was little, so jazz hip hop dancer. And I still am one, but I don't do it in like a dance class, but I still do it at home. And that's also my way of working out. So I do love doing it, and it relieves all of the stress I had from during the day.
What about you, Relina?
Music and music, from when I wake up with my alarm jams to when I sleep with my pop piano instrumentals, from when I'm pumped up to when I'm chilling out. Music provides me with the escape that I need at times, as well as the opportunity for introspectiveness. And I'm gonna let you in on a secret, not so secretive. My personal favorite artist is Selena Gomez. She and her music unparalleled when it comes to being exactly what I need. Selena Gomez makes me feel understood, feel empowered, feel rare, feel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. You both mentioned sleep in there, and it's something that my generation was never taught to value. As a matter of fact, I always had a little catchphrase: sleep is for the weak and lunch is for losers, because you were supposed to be thin and high strung and supposed to survive on 4 hours of sleep and some iceberg lettuce. And I love that the both of you recognize that sleep is really important. It is so important. They're even finding out it helps, stave off things like Alzheimer's and other degenerative diseases as you get older. So bravo to you guys for putting that first. Thank you. And anyone who's listening, sleep, it matters. It's not for the weak. So do you guys have any mantras or sayings that have helped you on days when you just don't feel confident? Relina?
Some days I wake up so amped up and ready to take on the world. Other days I feel like that version of me is such an amateur. And other days I feel like both versions of me are insane, because what do you mean you don't just want to lie down and stare at the ceiling for an hour? Which is why it helps me to remember that my 100% does not look the same every day. If I'm ever not feeling challenged enough, I can crank my energy up and redefine my goals for the day. If I'm feeling unproductive, I realize I just need some time off. I'm not a machine, and the only thing I need to give every day is my 100%, whatever it may look like that day.
That's fantastic. And what about you, Melanie?
Well, as a kid, I could never sleep at night. I always needed my mom to read me a book. So she read me millions of different books. But the one book that I still love till this day, and I still remember this one little section of this book, and it gives me motivation to keep moving, it's from The Little Engine That Could. And it's when this little engine is trying to get the toys over the other side of the mountain, but the toys think she's too small and cannot do it. So she sings a song, and it goes like this: I think I can, I think I can. I think I have a plan, and I can do most of anything if only I think I can. Now that is how I get through a tough time, because I just got to keep saying that, and I'll keep moving like a train.
But it's interesting because both of you pointed out something, and I don't know if you coordinated your answers, but you both mentioned plans, goals for the day. Relina said, sometimes I need to reframe or reconsider what my goals are for the day. And you just, even in your little song, I think I can, I have a plan. Is that really important? Do you get up every morning and think to yourself, what am I going to do today? Or do you freewheel it? Relina, tell me about it. Do you make a plan every day? Do you have a goal every day?
I do. I make a plan for what I want to get done or what I want to work on, mentally, physically, with my schoolwork and extracurriculars. I make sure that I use the day, carpe diem, and I seize it and I use it the way I'd like to. And if it's just not working out, I realize, you know what, I'm gonna put this on the back burner. I'm gonna work on this another day. And if I finish that up, I'm like, let's see what else I can do.
So you give yourself permission to be flexible about the plan. You've got to be able to respond to real time as it's happening. What about you, Melanie?
I also do the same thing. I give myself that flexibility to say, okay, this is not working out, and it's okay. You could just move on to something else. But I do like to plan out what I'm doing because I feel I'll feel a little lost without one. And I kind of like to have my day structured. I was just talking about to my family, actually, where I say, okay, if I'm in a job or whatever, I want to have 8 a.m. this, 9 a.m. this, 10 a.m. this, and go on throughout my day.
I love that you just referenced your family again. Your sunshine and your water are part of your plan. It's fantastic. So I want to talk about something that I personally have a very hard time with, which is social media. It came in very late in my life and my career, so it still baffles me. But has it impacted your journey to confidence? I mean, are there any accounts that you would suggest for inspiration and not just feeling like a downer? Are there role models you like? Melanie, let's start with you.
Well, social media impacted me a lot more when I was younger.
Mhm.
I had a lot of self-confidence problems with that. But it was just because of my age, and I wanted all the riches, I wanted the fame. That's what I wanted, and I thought that was what the idea of happiness was. To be happy, you have to have money and you have to have fame. But now I use social media as an outlet to love myself, but also, like when you're trying to go to sleep and you want to relax, that's how I also use my social media. Like I'm just laying there scrolling. Yeah, that's how I use social media. But I say an account to follow. I love Chrissy Teigen.
Uh-huh.
Is because she is like a really cool mom and wife, and her food is phenomenal. I love food. Okay, like I absolutely love food. Role models in my life would be my mom and my two grandmothers. Many more, but those are just two that stick out the most. But they have been there for me for everything, and they know what it is to struggle just like everybody else does. But they are hardworking, and I want to strive to be like them.
I have some follow-ups for you, but first I want to hear about Relina. How do you feel about social media? How is it impacting you?
So when it comes to social media, I live a Hannah Montana life. I have the best of both worlds. Well, I have a personal account at Relina on Instagram, and where I keep in touch with my friends from school and extracurriculars, my family, my mentors, and I have it accessible for anyone who'd like to reach out and network with me. I also have a digital editing account dedicated to my favorite books and TV shows and musicians. My editing account has given me an extremely positive social media experience. I realize that my life does not have to comprise of just people I'm geographically similar to. There's a whole world of people I've grown close with that I got to know purely because of shared interests with no other demographic factors in play. I have met some of my closest friends, some even going on 7 years, because of the role models and pieces of media we were impacted by. I've also been given a creative outlet, been able to develop skills and interests and learn of opportunities I would have never otherwise been exposed to, such as Step Up. For this reason, I'm incredibly grateful for my social media access and presence. And I suggest people follow Selena Gomez. She's so real. I'm inspired by her use of her platform, the issues she brings awareness to, the resources she shares, the real life problems she experiences and speaks openly and candidly about on her own terms, and how she sometimes opts out of social media altogether when she's sick of it, when it's not giving her what she needs and it becomes more of a burden than something that brings joy. I really respect that, and I've begun to follow suit and take notice of things in my life that may make me feel the same way, which has helped me with my confidence and my mental health when it all becomes too much. Selena Gomez is my all-around role model.
I love that. Melanie, one of your role models on social media was Chrissy Teigen, and she has very publicly made lots of mistakes. And I admire and also I'm amazed by, because I'm very fearful in social media. I don't want to make any mistakes. And she has laid it bare and made mistakes. How do you feel about the way that she has handled her mistakes?
I feel like we're human, okay? Like we're not robots. It is okay to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to learn from them and say, I am not perfect. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. Yeah. I am skin and bones. That is, I'm going to make mistakes, and that is okay.
But do you think, Relina, that when people do, as you were saying with Selena Gomez, there's times when celebrities or people with large, Instagram followings, they check out of social media because they feel like they're getting canceled, or one comment that they made a long time ago is haunting them, or they can't seem to get out of a sticky social media situation. Do you think that following people as they go through that journey is important? What is your opinion on that?
It all depends on the mistake that's been made. and it depends on, you have to remember to take care of your health. So if something's becoming too much and you don't want to look at it, and it's affecting you personally, then, go ahead and it's all internet. You can just turn off your phone at some point. But it's been nice to see some celebrities, how they come back, because sometimes you make a mistake as a kid or as a young adult, and it's not reflective of who you are today. So it's really nice to see how they address it and how they move forward, and if they take any extra steps to right the wrong that they've done. And other times you just say, you know what, I don't need this in my life, and you just click off.
I love it. You don't have to opt into that pressure if you don't want to. Okay, so we have time for one last question. What would you tell someone who is struggling on their journey to confidence? Relina?
There will always be obstacles in life, and the journey to confidence is no different. There are some obstacles that are worth taking on and growing from. They help us become who we want to be. And there are others that may seem important until you take a closer look at what you want. They are there to test you in other ways. They all look different, and only you can decide which obstacles are worth working with and which are better working around. But once you work towards getting to know who you are, what you want, what your priorities are, your struggle turns into your strongest asset.
That's beautiful. And Melanie?
I would tell them to do what makes them the happiest, and don't let anything or anybody impact that or get in the way of it, because you know what, that doesn't matter. What matters is if you're happy and how you're going to keep your happiness. Now remember, it's okay to struggle and it's okay to have hard times, but use them as learning experience to go ahead in the future.
I had to mute for a second because there's construction in my house, so I apologize. I did not want people to be distracted. Thank you so much to Melanie and Relina. By the way, there were other questions that we were going to ask, such as if you could tell your 5-year-old self something, what would it be? How would you bolster that young girl's confidence? And I don't know if maybe some of the listeners want to put their suggestions about that in the chat as they're listening to this. But thank you two so much. I'm so happy to have shared this stage with you today, and for you, and I'm grateful for the truth that you shared with us. For our guests, today's session has been offered in support of Step Up, the mentorship nonprofit supporting girls and gender expansive teens as they pursue their dreams of success. Step Up hopes to raise over $500,000 today to fund mentorship programs that support teens and young adults in becoming confident, like these two, career focused, and ready to join the next generation of leaders. Please consider helping us reach this goal by visiting the donate and merch icons on the Step Up Together website or app. Again, ladies, thank you so much. And thanks to everyone who has joined us.
Thank you.
Come, but I know that ain't true. When the world gets the worst of me, I'm still my best with you. We don't stare into the ocean, we just dive into the blue. They say the best days are yet to come, but I know that ain't true.